Look, I want to finish my challenge to Scumo Morrison Part 2. There's a few more things I'd like to say. I could probably go on about it all day, but I'll get a few things done. My point is, and the topic is vaccination. That's a big deal at the moment with coronavirus. My point is this, and I'm a massive fan of the medical profession. I've had a lot of broken bones. They fixed me up. You'd be there. Of course, you have to be there. They're going to help you. But they're human, right? And they have the same failings as us. They have the same self-interest, let's say. You only need to go to your local doctor, and you see they open up the diary, and it's an appointment every 2.5 minutes. I mean, clearly, it's about money, right? Anyway, my point is this: not only does the medical profession and the government already hold these incredibly powerful positions in society, they have power, they have money, they have location. Look at the hospitals. I mean, billions of dollars in real estate, billions of dollars in assets, billions of dollars in funding every year. The institutions for education, it's just, the power is mind-boggling. But you disagree with them. That power is not enough. They've still got to demonise good young families because they don't want to vaccinate their kids. And it's not about not wanting to vaccinate your kids, simply because they had a difference of opinion. It wasn't good enough just to say, okay, I accept you got a difference of opinion. No. They've spent years and years demonising these families, demonising these young kids. Couldn't even play. Young kids not allowed to play with other young kids in the schools. I mean, what man does that? What man does that vocally and pumps his fist in the air and says, no jab, no play? You've got to be some kind of zealot, haven't you? And we know Scumo, that's the Australian PM, the advertising salesman masquerading as the Australian PM, is an advertising salesman. We know that. So not only that, think of Pete Evans, I think the cook on Channel 7, Pete Evans, the cook. He has I believe, a website or something, and he has an opinion on alternative medicine. He's got something he believes helps with the virus. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I'm not going to use it. I've got my own opinions. But they couldn't slam him fast enough. They couldn't slam him with a fine fast enough. Here's a guy who's challenged us, bang. And yet they're happy to the Therapeutic Goods Administration is happy to push the line that when multiple people are vaccinated, it somehow works better. Well, I guess if you turn that around, if not everyone's vaccinated, it doesn't work. So you're really saying it doesn't work. What they're trying to say to you is that if everyone's vaccinated, there's no virus around, it works. But it doesn't really make any sense. There's no virus around. It doesn't. It either works or it doesn't, yeah? Clearly, they're insecure about these vaccinations, yeah? Because a lot of kids, a lot of people, when you hear of outbreaks of disease, usually it's in vaccinated populations. We know that. And I'm not a anti-vax, whatever. I'm just stating the facts. That's why the argument won't go away. Because people are not stupid. The argument of demonising people who make a choice is political. It's 100% political. Now, the Therapeutic Goods Administration wanted to hammer poor old Pete. Did they ask him, Pete, can you show us how it works? No. Maybe it works. I don't know. Pete might have done research. That's how a lot of the great discoveries were discovered. I mean, research was discovered. People in their own laboratories, in their own garden, their own experience. Did they say, Pete Evans, show me if it works? Wouldn't that be the polite thing to do? It would be. But governments are not polite because governments are no longer public services. Governments are commercial entities protecting their own interests. We'll deal that in another video. And we'll have another go at Scumo. But they didn't do that. They just slammed Pete with a massive fine. So I'll say to the Therapeutic Goods Administration who regulate what comes onto the market with drugs and that, show us the research. Show us the research where the more people who are vaccinated, the more effective it is. So you've got to show within a person, one, that it's effective. Show us that research. And then two, show us, because I'm sitting next to Fred, who's vaccinated as well, I've got even more protection. Show us that. And if you can't show us that, you've got to be removed from office, every one of you. Every one of you have to be removed from... Just let me say this. I've spoken about Scumo wanting to ban also the young NRL player, Scott. Or Scumo, sorry, I should say. I got it wrong, Scott. Scumo, no jab, no play. This guy's, it's his career. He'll lose his career, a dedicated athlete. Have you said to your own government and your own so-called public service, they're not a public service, but your own public service, have you checked whether every one of them's had a flu shot? If you haven't, Scumo, it's corruption. Because you're biased. This guy's in the media. I'll jump on him. I'll jump on Evans. I'll jump on him. I'll jump on a few of the anti-vaxxers families. That's corruption because you're biased and you're abusing your office. You're abusing the power of your office. Unless you can produce the research and you can show us that your own family, your own government, and your own public service, every last one of them, I don't know, there's 56,000 of them, show us that you have concrete evidence from a medical professional that they have had a flu shot. But ladies and gentlemen, he won't show you that because he doesn't have it. Because Scumo is not about leadership. It's not about doing the right thing about society, about your health. It's about maintaining his own political career. It's about corruption. And it is disgusting that these politicians and the medical profession too use their political might and power to demonise nice people for nothing more than having a difference of opinion. I mean, it's disgusting. It truly is. I'm saying to the men and women out there and the young people, stand up. You have the freedom to choose. And if people die because of your fucking choices, so be it. The freedom to choose is more powerful than public health. Not that I think it's even a public health issue. I've told you that this isn't a public health issue. This is just political spin. I'm giving you an extreme example, but your freedom to choose. Do you want a Christian zealot in Scott Morrison, advertising salesman, telling you how to live and then punishing you if you have a different opinion? It's disgusting. Morrison, the Therapeutic Goods Administration, and the medical profession, will call all three out. Show us the research. Show us, one, the research that vaccination works. It's been long overdue we see this research. We need to see it. Put it in the public domain. Two, show us the research that if I sit next to Joe who's vaccinated, I even get more immunity. That doesn't exist. That's voodooism. That's mysticism. Like I've got a force field around me. Oh, Joe, look, our force field, we're in the bubble together. Who believes that? And Morrison, show us every public servant, they're not public servants, but we'll call them that for the moment, that's what you do, and every member of your government a flu shot. Show us. If you can't show us that, I'm calling on Scott Morrison to resign and I'm calling for him to be arrested on corruption. If you can't show us that, Scott Morrison, I'm calling on you to be arrested for corruption and to resign. You fucking maggot. Your days of demonising decent Australians are over. Come on, Aussies, stand up against these grubby politicians. And next time you're with your neighbour and they say, I don't vaccinate, don't demonise them. Just say, okay, that's your choice. Don't believe this BS about somehow they're a threat to you. If you're vaccinated, how can they be a threat to you? This herd, this is all mysticism. Let's see it. All we want to do is see it. Okay, that's enough for me. I've got to get something done.